Why tell me something nice?
What is your name?
Tell me something nice. Go on. Go make daddy laugh. Go on. Go on. Go on, I want to see you. Go on. Go, Jack. Go, go, go.
Justin. Justin.
Whoa, there comes Dad.
Justin.
Go get him.
Come get him. Go again.
Come on, let's see. Come on. Yes, go make laugh. Yes.
Justin.
Whoa.
Justin.
Go get him. Come on, let's see. Come on, go make laugh. Yes, come on.
At just 20 years old, I've accumulated over $700,000 in profit day trading. But let's not act like I've been profitable the first day I opened up my brokerage account. Let's run it back real quick. In the years leading up to my big break, I blew countless of small accounts. Overtrading, FOMO, tilt, everything. All the problems you can think of, I was probably doing. Now, all of these things plagued me as a newbie trader because I didn't know better. I didn't know what was right and what was wrong and how to navigate the markets and how to learn from mistakes. And I don't want to see the same thing happen for you guys. So I thought to myself, what is the best way to share these lessons with my younger self? Well, it'd probably be to go back in time and just like take my mouse out of my hand, but I really can't do that. So I started a challenge for myself to share with you guys. I'm starting a brand new $5,000 account to avenge the old Justin. The one who thought you needed to spam 0 DTE options on Friday and play Jerome Powell, and the one that thought 1,000% options returns is my goal and what I should be striving for. that guy. I'm doing this challenge to prove that you can grow a small chunk of change into a sizable account without having to trade like an idiot. My goal with this challenge is to show you guys literally everything I can when it comes to my trading as full transparent as possible. Every single trade that I take will be journaled, recorded, documented on this account, and shared with you guys. I'm going to show you guys the ups, the downs, everything that is going to happen. I will be fully transparent about win, loss, and everything in between. And the last reason why I'm doing this is because nobody else has the fucking balls to do it. All your little favorite traders on social media hiding behind the screen, showing their fake P&Ls that are afraid to actually do it in front of everybody. Well, I'm not, because I actually know what I'm talking about. This is going to be a full demonstration of how I should have traded from day one. So follow along with me and enjoy the show. So plan for the day of kind of what I would want to see is we just met our standard deviation projection from this manipulation leg, so I'm expecting us to start to work our way back higher. This internal model of what we're looking at here, we have generated buy side, all of this generated buy side. We have equal highs here. That's going to act as buy side that I want to see price come back to. Going into the morning, I'm going to be patient, kind of let us see what happened here. This recent low to the left of us was taken. They're kind of hard to see if there was a manipulation leg here, but we are starting to get displacement. There is a 15-minute for value gap that's getting respected that we tapped back into here. I want to see if we do want to come back down one more time and manipulate because we do have an SMT here. So this could be another generated liquidity level before possibly coming back to then take this later on once we come down and take this generated liquidity here, because there was no SMT here. There really wasn't anything here. So going to be extra patient. If it's not dumb clear, I'm not going to take it. I am starting the small account challenge today. So right now it's starting at 5,400. All right, 2 minutes in the open. Starting to get some displacement here to the downside. This SMT starting to hold. I would expect to see this imbalance to the left of us get ran through. I'd want to go see us continue lower a little bit. That 15-minute for value gap get ran through as well. Kind of want to get adjusted to what this risk would look like. It's around 3-4 contracts is what I'll normally be trading, I'm guessing. Like to see us come back and tap this, and if we can build some more structure in here and maybe take a recent high, then a short doesn't actually looks pretty good. Order flow is, again, still extremely bearish. We might honestly just dump through these lows in the morning here without pulling, because I think this looks really nice. SMT, rejection of this imbalance here. Going to continue to generate liquidity. Generated sell side here. Order flow is very bullish or bearish. I'm going to short here. I'll look to maybe add to this position if we can get an internal model to reject. But I'll be looking for new lows and runner go to standard deviation. Got macro going to open up here soon. This is a little early from the macro. Want to see this. If this 5-minute candle can close like this and just completely flip bearish, that would be huge. Honestly, there's so much room to the downside. Like, you really could, if you wanted to, hold a runner. Like runner, like to down here. Might be a little frisky with this one and just leave a runner. But also it's a small account challenge, so I don't want to be like super greedy. I only have 3 contracts. I'd like to take one off here, and then like one off here. Because like I think we do have, again, order flow is extremely bearish. SMT in the morning. I think we have a lot of follow through to the downside here. Because how is leaving a runner being greedy? It's not being greedy. If the reason I say being greedy is because of this circumstance. If I'm on a like my account, then fine. But if I'm on a small account challenge that I'm trying to grow, if I'm growing it, I take what I'm given. I take the low hanging fruit. The low hanging fruit is the sell side level, right? I'm confident that this gets taken. I'm not as confident that we go to these standard deviation projections, right? And if you trade just what you're confident with, you're going to always be more successful most of the time. But like this is a case where I would leave a runner because it would make sense to leave a runner. That's something you always got to realize though, because we do that a lot, right? When you zoom in and you're like, oh, there's a little SMT here, a little SMT. It's like, okay, zoom out, brother. That SMT really means nothing in relationship to why you're even taking the trade to begin with, right? It's just you being scared, right? Like we could, again, that SMT could hold and we might rebalance, but then maybe reject and then continue, right? Trust the overall model in which you're looking at. If it affects the actual bias itself, then yeah, take it into account. Just being patient. I'd like this to be low resistance. The only thing that's a little sketch is ES is nowhere near it. So taking something at this low is not a bad idea. I'd like to see just a straight follow through though. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can we get that runner quickly to the SD? There we go, runner out there. Bang! Let's go. First day on the small account. Again, there's a lot of room to the downside here for runners. What are we at here? 747 on the first day of the small account. This is looking good. I got a really nice entry there. Pulled back that 15-minute for value gap, still getting respected. Big SMT at the highs. I took this right when I saw ES take that recent high. I just want to see us dump through these lows. Gonna take pretty much most off at the slow, just the 2. I'm only in 3 right now, so. Want to see us just reject here. I honestly think I'm just going to let a runner go to standard deviation. And just trail it along the way. There we go, PT hit. I'd like to see just a dump follow through. We could bounce, but I'll start to trail this. Yeah, if we can just dump, that would be fantastic. We are in this 1 hour here. Honestly, I might just take it off right now because I could expect us to honestly start to bounce here. I don't really see us like dumping. We do have an SMT at these lows now as well. Yeah, I'll just keep this last contract trailed. If we displace back inside this range, I'll get stopped on this. Because we do have an SMT at these lows now. But basically, where ES is though, I'd love to see us follow through. Because after ES taking this high, I think we could have a lot of room to the downside on ES. So I'd like to see NQ just really start to get through this. All right, stopped out right there. All good. Solid trade. What are we at? 491 on the day. 6656. That's trade number 2 on the account. We're 2 for 2. Solid. Very happy with that one. We just got to keep this up. It's more so just the consistency. The thing about a small account is just coming into the day, taking something like this, and then calling it a day, right? So yesterday we were up 700 something. Right now, today we're up around 500. That's great pace. Like that's really, really good pace on a 5K account, right? That's pretty much like 10%, more than a 10% increase every day. So this is the current account that you can see. It actually started at 5,400. It wasn't $5,000 on the dot. This was an old account that I used to trade on, and it had $400 left in it. So I added 5K. So we actually started at 5,400, just so I'm being completely honest. There's a $400 off. So we're currently up $1,200 in 2 days. The account is sitting at $6,656. Let's go over the TradeZella now. So this entire challenge, I will be journaling using TradeZella, so you guys will kind of be able to see my journaling process as well. So let's jump in and kind of look at these trades that we took. You guys just saw the recordings of those trades, but let's actually jump in and talk about my journaling process and a little bit more in depth on those. So overall, just before we get into the actual setup itself, let's just go look at the stats here. We have a 2.7R planned risk, realized risk 2.5. Again, that's great. I want my trades to at least be 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5. So that's right on the dot. Now, a bigger time frame going into this day, order flow was extremely bearish. I was most likely just looking for a continuation to the downside. We had a lot of resting equal highs up here that I was expecting we could maybe come up, right? The opening candle was around right here at 930. Zooming in, going into the open, we actually came up, swept this recent high to the left of us, put in an SMT, and then from here, once we got displacement through this, I recognized this was a nice little morning manipulation. I was expecting to see a follow through to the downside. So we ended up pulling back into this 5-minute fair value gap in this 5-minute breaker. Zooming into the 1 minute, this is what it looked like. We pulled back. I entered short. My stop loss was on the high of that 5-minute fair value gap. We ended up selling off to that sell side level. I took off my position. Most of the contracts, I was in 3 contracts. I took off 2 at this sell side level, and then I let my last contract go to this standard deviation 2 to 2.5 projection. But again, this was beautiful. And then look at how well the market respected this, right? People will look at this and say that an algorithm doesn't run the market. It's crazy. Bounced perfectly off 4, immediately just ran right back into the range. So the notes that I had for this was I came into the day with a bearish bias, but was aware that we could possibly start to see the displacement to the upside to start the move back to the bigger time frame breaker. Order flow was super bearish at the open, and then we put in an SMT in favor of the draw. We also rejected the fair value gap to the left of us, which was this little gray line right here, which was a 15-minute fair value gap. Waited for displacement to the downside, waited for a pullback to equilibrium in the unicorn model. Unicorn is just the fair value gap in the breaker. Took 3 contracts short for the small account. We'll be risking around $300 this challenge until we get to 10K. Flawless execution today. The only thing I could have done was maybe leave a longer runner. Was confident that we could sell off, but decided to take my low-hanging fruit, which isn't bad. Building good habits, took what I was confident in, and still had a good risk. Overall, solid day. Great way to start the challenge. So this was the first day. This was on Thursday. Now, I just got done trading on Friday. So let's go over Friday's trade. Friday's trade, we're up $492 on the day, and this was a really, really clean trade. Great risk. We were risking $118 for 562. Now the planned R was 4.7, realized R was 4.1, and the reason why it wasn't as the planned R is because there was no follow through, and my last contract ended up getting stopped in profit. So honestly, bias going into today was a little bit on the skewed side. I had a very loose bias because of where we were in the range. If we look at the bigger time frame here, we had this recent low to the left of us that was created from Thursday, the recent high, and now we were just kind of building structure in this range, and I expected it to probably be a really, back and forth kind of day. So going into the morning, we actually started to sell through this low to the left of us, which was right here. We came up, put in this high, immediately sold off pre-market, and then just sold through this in the open. But the thing that I was noticing is on ES at the time, we were actually pumping straight to this high, and we ended up taking it. So NQ ended up coming up, rebalancing to this 15-minute fair value gap that we had, and we had an SMT not only on this bigger time frame from this high, but also this internal high as well. So once I saw kind of the order flow between ES and NQ, and I noticed there was just a massive divergence, I was confident that I could see NQ at least go make a new low. So I had a really, really nice risk. I entered in short with a super tight stop at that high because I wanted to see that high become the protected high because of both the SMTs. And this was just one of those trades where it was clean, didn't have to worry, literally zero drawdown. I entered and we just pretty much sold straight off. Initially bounced back to this 1 minute fair value gap and then sold off here. Took off 2 of my contracts, and then my last contract got stopped in profit right here for, again, another great trade, another great day, 492. The notes that I wrote for this was, came into the day with a pretty loose bias, but was leaning more bearish for the morning open. Right at the open, I recognized the discorrelation between ES and NQ. ES went to run new highs and NQ was continuing to print price action. When ES took the high and NQ ran into the 15-minute fair value gap, I noticed we had 2 SMTs on the 1 hour and also on the 15-minute. I jumped into a short with really good risk, decided not to wait for the displacement because I was expecting a quick move lower. Great entry, overall great day, did everything I was supposed to, good risk, good execution, and stepped away after 1 win. Now, that is really going to be the key with this challenge, to be honest, is just the consistency of it, not pushing more, not wanting for more, and just taking what is given and calling it. My goal for this as well is once I get to a certain threshold, around 8 to 10K is when I'll start sizing up. So right now, my average loss, I want it to be around $300. For this trade, actually, it wasn't. It was actually kind of lower size. It was 3 contracts, but I was only risking 118. So the risk to rower was just great, but I could have maybe added on an extra contract. But that's something that the more I start getting comfortable with this account and how I want to trade it, I'll be able to figure that out. But right now, the plan is stick to around 3 contracts. My max loss on this account is going to be $300. If I do see a very confident setup, I will allow myself to take $400 losses, but only on very specific A-plus setups that I have a lot of confidence in. But I will be kind of exchanging that risk around. I think taking a specific type of risk for like max $300 and then having that for every single trade is stupid. I think people that trade every single setup with the same risk is honestly doing a disservice to themselves because every setup is not going to be the exact same. It's going to have different levels of conviction. You're going to have different levels of confidence. You're going to have different levels of psychological fortitude. And in that moment, your girlfriend might have broken up with you. You shouldn't be trading. Even if the setup looks good, you probably still shouldn't be fucking trading that size. So always being able to be malleable and being able to adapt to conditions is extremely important when it comes to being a trader and a successful trader at that. I'm excited to bring you guys along the journey with me. I'm excited to show you guys the process of how I trade and how I journal. So now all of the trades that I will be taking on this challenge is all in our mentorship. So I'm doing this challenge alongside all of my students, showing them the process of this, showing them how I'm able to do this. Because the goal with this is full transparency and for you guys to gain as much knowledge as possible from this challenge.